Cut to exterior prison yard day. The yard is split right in half, separated by a chain-link fence. On one side are the genetic iterants. Brian, 12, sits in a floating chair. Alex, 17, stands rigidly near one wall, flanked by 2 personal guards. Katya, 9, is crawling around on a jungle gym-type apparatus. On the other side, Blake plays basketball with 5 burly Russians. Jen-16 emerges from the building. She looks exactly like Jen-15. She immediately strides up to Alex, 17.
So, look at you, the new golden girl, all grown up. Or should I say the new trained puppy?
Sasha.
Have they been putting you through your paces, puppy? Seeing all the wonderful things you can do?
Alex, please.
Or maybe they're doing a little hands-on work first, eh?
He moves his hand to caress her cheek. His guards take notice, but lightning quick, she grabs the hand before it can reach her.
Alex, listen to me. I know why you're sick. I know what happens when you go through too many iterations, why it makes you crazy. It's because you remember. Alex's 1 through 15 didn't know what was going to happen to them. Alex 15 didn't live with the memory of the pain of being torn apart molecule by molecule 14 other times, only to be recreated, to be poked, prodded, and analyzed until they were ready to kill him again. That Alex 16 remembered. You remember. I remember.
Say that.
I remember, and it's almost killing me. I can't imagine what it's doing to you. What's going on in your head?
You can't possibly
I
imagine.
also remember that Yevgenia 15 and Alexander 16 were in love.
No.
He spits at her. She is startled. The 2 personal guards immediately grab for Alex 17. Alex 17 kicks one of them in the stomach. He recoils. The other lifts his gun, but Alex swings around and pulls it out of his hand.
Sasha, don't!
Alex 17 flips the gun around and smacks the personal guard unconscious with the butt. More guards converge on the scene, charging to subdue Alex 17, but they never make it. As soon as they get within range of Jen 16, she attacks ferociously, delivering a lightning-fast flurry of punches and kicks to each wave of guards, dropping them as quickly as they can approach.
Stop!
The guards, poised to attack, again freeze.
This disturbance is over. Everything is under control. Return to your posts.
The guards, not quite sure why, slowly withdraw and begin to retake their posts in the yard. Jen 16 turns to Alex.
Sasha, go sit down.
Alex 17 stands for a beat in defiance, but gives it up and complies. Cut to exterior prison yard, normal prisoner side, day. Blake takes a long shot, which misses off the backboard.
What's the matter, USA? I thought Americans are supposed to be good at this game.
Just take it out, Boris. You're still down 5-3.
Be careful I don't take you out, little USA.
The burly Russian and his 2 teammates set up to bring in the ball. Burly Russian barrels into Blake, knocking him over, and continues in for a layup.
Foul? Foul? What is this foul? This is some English word I don't know. What means foul?
The contact has pushed Blake very close to the fence. He looks over and sees the scene moments earlier as Jen 16 approaches Alex. Seconds later, he sees as Alex 17 dispatches the 2 personal guards with little difficulty.
Him?
The scene plays itself out, with Jen 16 pounding on the whole cadre of guards and subsequently calming them down.
Her.
Hey, USA! Look at the freak show later. I want to win this thing so I can play somebody good already.
Boris, you wouldn't know good if it was floating face up in your borscht.
I think this guy has some hostility against Russians. What do you think, guys?
Just bring it, comrade.
Burly Russian again charges straight towards the basket, but this time Blake deftly steals the ball from him, turns around, and throws in a nice smooth jump.
Yeah, there's your hostility, Boris.
Not bad, not bad. Okay, point game, USA. Let's see what you do.
I just hope I kind of need to be predictable, big guy.
Burly Russian checks the ball into Blake. Blake dribbles down the court as fast as he can. As expected, Burly Russian steps into the lane. They collide, and Burly Russian staggers back a little towards the fence, whereas Blake is knocked backwards several feet.
Ho, ho, ho! I think you need to eat more borscht yourself, USA. Build yourself up before you try to play with men.
Blake gets up slowly, daggers in his eyes.
Oh, did I make you angry, USA? Come on, it's only a game.
Screaming, Blake charges at the burly Russian, much to the surprise of the other Russians. The burly Russian steels himself for the coming attack, but when Blake reaches him, rather than engaging, he pats his hands on burly Russian's shoulders and uses him as leverage to vault over the fence, landing hard on the iterant side, and immediately makes a beeline for Jen 16.
Listen, I know who you are. I'm going to get you out of here tonight. You ready?
American, what are you talking
I'm
about?
with the CIA. I was inserted here 6 months ago to liberate X-16. That's you. It's gonna happen tonight. Be ready.
The guards have arrived. They grab Blake roughly. One gives him a rifle butt in the stomach.
Be ready.
Jen-16 watches with curious interest as they drag him away. She turns to Brian 12.
You know what they're serving for dinner tonight?
Brian 12 doesn't respond. Cut to interior, Blake's cell, Facility 12, night. Blake is leaning against the wall in his bunk. A buzz alerts him that a transmission is beginning.
Agent Trudeau, it's time.
Check.
Oh, and Trudeau?
Yeah.
Lakers over Cleveland in 6.
Thanks.
We're destroying this implant for security purposes. Also because it may be causing you brain damage. You may feel a slight pop.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up.
Blake winces as with a pop, the transmitting implant disintegrates.
This was the most unpleasant part of this deal. Well, here we go.
Blake takes a finger and digs it into the back of his left hand. The flesh actually gives way. There was fake skin here. Underneath is a very tiny pill.
Bottoms up.
He swallows the pill.
Well, that wasn't so...
Blake doubles over in pain. He drops to all fours. He begins to heave. Finally, with a painful effort, he regurgitates a small plastic-type bubble which goes skittering across the floor.
I really gotta perfect this technology.
He picks up the bubble and opens it. Inside are the 2 computer chips and a plastic explosive. He takes one of the chips and jumps up on the bed. He unscrews the light bulb hanging from the ceiling.
Okay, hon. Let's see what a big genius you really are.
Blake takes one of the chips and shoves it into the light socket, where it sticks, but nothing else happens. He screws the bulb back in and jumps down off the bed.
Okay, good news is I didn't electrocute myself, however.
The lights flicker, then go out.
There we go.
Cut to interior Jen-16's holding cell. Jen-16 sits in her cell, waiting patiently. There is a cell guard posted outside her door. The cell guard looks in at her. She smiles. The lights flicker, then go out. Jen-16 looks around, calculating what this might mean. The cell guard also looks, clearly alarmed.
I'm gonna check this out. I'll be right back.
No, don't leave me.
Don't tell me you're afraid of the dark, Supergirl.
Well,
Now, come on. You'll be safe.
why don't you come in here instead?
Hmm? I don't think so, lovely.
Jen-16 begins to coyly sweep her leg along the floor. A low pop is heard in the distance. The guard starts to turn towards it, but can't take his eyes off the rather seductive Jen.
I've never been with a man before. Of course, I'm only 6 months old. But I'll never tell.
Do you think I don't know what you can do to me, little Supergirl?
The lights come back on.
See that? Everything's fine. Now, why don't you come show me how big and tough you are in here?
The cell guard considers. She's really hot. Finally, he produces a pair of handcuffs from his uniform.
Ooh, kinky.
She picks them up, sits on the bed, puts her hands behind her back, and clicks the handcuffs into place.
Here you go. No hands. Although you're a loss, I have to say.
The cell guard removes a card key and goes to the cell door lock to the right of the door, which has a numeric keypad as well as a card slot. There's a similar lock on the inside wall near the door. The cell guard types a numeric code into the keypad. Close up on Jen-16's ear. Hearing the tones made by each key being pressed into the pad much louder than they actually are, she's learning the code by ear. Once the sequence is finished, the cell guard slides the card through. A green light and beep, and the door slides open. He then slides the card deep into his boot.
Now I will teach you, little Supergirl.
Suddenly an alarm whoops throughout the complex. The cell guard whirls, and Jen-16 takes her opportunity. In a single motion, she pulls her hands apart, snapping the handcuffs. She lunges towards the cell guard as he turns back towards her, but rather than attack him frontally, she dives and grabs for his foot. In another fluid motion, she grabs his foot, flips him, and snaps the foot off at the ankle. Jen-16 tears open the boot and removes the card. She types in the code on the lock on her side and slides the card through. The door opens, and she slips out into the hallway. She looks around.
Now what, CIA man?